Hey, how's everybody? GameTechy here. So today we've got another Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 video for you. We're just doing a short flyover from Venice to Paderborn.
Ground KLM-28, could you please send the baggage?
KLM-28 baggage is on the way.
Ground KLM-28, could you
So we're just doing all the pre-flight checks while we are waiting for our baggage.
On the road.
Yeah, so today we'll be flying with KLM. It's the only livery on the 787 Dreamliner so far on Xbox with an official airline. We're really hoping that they will bring out some more, at a later stage. And on PC, the modders, they got most of the airlines. Unfortunately on Xbox, as we all know, we can't mod, so we're gonna have to wait until on the marketplace the community has brought some out for us. I know on the E200, and there's quite a few different, about 10 or so different airline liveries, but we all know it's unfortunately that mod from Catem Sim is not the greatest, especially the fact that the cockpit, you're flying with a
KLM-28
4-engine cockpit, but it's actually only a 2-engine plane. So I haven't actually bought that plane as yet, mainly because of that, and apparently there's quite a lot of issues with that plane within the sim. So I think I'll just stick around to wait for something better, and obviously once we have something nice, I'll definitely do some content on that. So we're just about ready to depart out of Venice.
Ground KLM-28 IFR to Paderborn, ready to copy.
KLM-28 is cleared to Paderborn Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 04 left climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure frequency is 124.9er25 squawk 5401.
Just make sure we got all our autopilot buttons activated here in the meantime before we taxi out.
KLM-28, did you hear my last transmission?
KLM-28 cleared to Paderborn Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 04 left climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure on 124.9er25 squawk 5401.
KLM-28 read that correct. Contact ground on 121.7. Good day.
Let's just disconnect the jetway and then we can be off.
Ground KLM-28, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
So in the Sim Update 6, they've done some improvements on the jetway connections. So I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure all you guys have experienced the glitches with the jetways where the animations, they won't connect fully to the plane, or part of the jetway connection is like ghosted. I still experience it at some of the airports, but I think it's a huge improvement from Sim Update 5.
Ground KLM28 with Quebec ready to taxi IFR.
KLM28 taxi to and hold short of runway 04 left via taxiway Mike Zulu. Contact tower on 120.2 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 04 left using taxiway Mike Zulu KLM28. Ground KLM28 requesting pushback.
So the airport we're flying today is Paderborn, Lippstadt. So it's a freeway that was came onto Xbox a couple of days ago. I think it was available on PC before and only released now on Xbox. I think that the developers had quite a nice job with it. Especially your guys will see later in the video when we on our approach, when we fly about 3,000 feet over the Windfarm. It's quite nice. It's actually quite a nice view. It's quite amazing actually. And the airport itself, the jetways and the actual live humans, if you want to call it, all of that inside the airport is actually pretty cool. But anyways, let's continue with our pushback, and we'll taxi out to our runway, and we'll be on our way.
Ground KLM28 requesting the end of pushback.
KLM28 request to end pushback received.
Let's give you guys a bit of a view of the airport on our way out. I must say, even the ground detail, the markings is pretty well done in Flight Simulator. I still get confused where I need to taxi to, so yeah, I use the taxi navigation, so apologies for that. But I'm sure a lot of us still use it anyway, so. Let's just speed this up a little bit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our departure out from Venice.
KLM28. Milan Center KLM28 is passing 1,300 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
KLM28 Milan Center QNH 30.18 continue to PV 489 as planned. KLM28 keep speed, not above 200 knots.
Keep speed not above 200 knots KLM28.
I must say Microsoft did a really nice job with the visuals this year, with this year's release. Absolutely stunning.
KLM28 climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if I mentioned, but this is on the Series X, this gameplay. And yeah, I haven't had any game crashes or any issues as such. It's running absolutely smooth on the Xbox Series X. And I'm playing with mostly with the keyboard and mouse that I've got connected to the Xbox. Obviously with the landing and the takeoff, I do have just my Xbox controller, and it works perfectly well. I don't see the need to go spend, X amount of money on a separate joystick and thrust controller, etc. I fly mostly with the airliners. It's what I enjoy, and mostly of that is autopilot. So it's not worth the upgrade to spend all of that money, and you can control the plane basically with the autopilot, which you mostly do. I'll do some videos with the smaller planes and with my Xbox remote, and let you guys know how that is. I have flown some of the smaller planes with the joystick on the Xbox. Yeah, it's not too bad. I do think that with a joystick, it's definitely going to be easier, and the experience is going to be a lot more immersive. But it's not too bad.
For you are 27 miles west. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 22 right approach.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 22 right approach Ryanair 7904.
KLM28 climb and maintain flight level 260.
climb and maintain flight level 260 KLM28.
Here's few screenshots of some of the sceneries throughout our flight. And as you guys can see, man, the visuals are just spectacular. Alright, ladies and gents, we are starting off our descent down now. There we can see another plane flying as well.
Lufthansa 253, you are 39 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 25 left approach by Charlie Hotel Alpha transition. Cleared to Charlie Hotel Alpha. when you are 61 miles northeast. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS Yankee runway 25 right approach by DF 426 transition. Clear to DF 426.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS Yankee runway 25 right approach by DF 426 transition. Clear to DF 426 Honzilian 1377.
Okay, so we're descending down to 16,000 feet now. And I must say the ATC in the game is not too bad. I mean, it definitely adds to the immersiveness of the game. I definitely think it could have been a bit better, but it works well for the purpose. Sometimes with the ATC, you know, either you can't hear any speech either from the pilot or from the control tower, so there's definitely still some glitches with it. Okay, we're going to start off our descent down to 5,000 feet now.
KLM 28, please expedite your descent 5,000 feet.
Let's configure our plane for landing. We're setting now auto brakes as well as our speed brakes. And as we start our descent down to 5,000 feet, also comes the Windfarm I mentioned to you guys in the beginning of the video. But you guys will see it a little bit better as we get closer down to the ground and a bit closer to the airport. The Windfarm does get a bit bigger.
KLM 28, contact Bremen Center on 125.1. Good day.
.125.1 for KLM 28. Bremen Center KLM 28 is at 9,600 feet, descending 5,000 feet. KLM 28 Bremen Center QNH 30.32, continue to Whiskey Romeo Bravo as planned.
Localizer has picked up the iOS for the runway, and there we can see the Windfarm a bit close up as well. Yeah, just to get back to the iOS, so on the Paderborn airport it works very well actually. I mean, I've done this flight a few times actually. I actually like this route. Some nice visuals on the approach. I know something about a Windfarm. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so but some of the other airports of the iOS, and speaking of more glitches, is it doesn't always pick up the iOS. Sometimes it does pick it up, but it doesn't actually show you, you know, on your screen that you actually have picked it up. But it still follows the glide slope and actually lands quite nicely. where other occasions it doesn't pick it up at all, although you've done everything correctly, configuration, you get the right altitude, right speed, etc. It just doesn't pick it up, and you realize, okay, the plane's not following the glide slope, and then you can do a manual landing, so it's not a train smash. But just let you guys know, there is some glitches with some of the other airports where it's not picking up the iOS. Put my flaps down a bit too early there, but never mind, the plane will slow down just now. And as you guys can see, the magentas, the plane will start following that, both the altitude as well as the general LNAV direction.
Turkish 1527 contact Langen Center on 118.75. Good day.
Another nice view of the Windfarm.
Going to 118.75, Turkish 1527.
KLM-208 descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet KLM-28.
Alright, we are on our final leg of our approach here now. We have 2 more left turns and then we'll be aligned off the runway.
KLM-28 contact Langen Center on 118.75. Good day. 118.75 for KLM-28. Langen Center KLM-28 is at 4,900 feet, descending 3,000 feet. KLM-28 Langen Center QNH tree 0.2 continue as planned.
Down some more flaps here. And we're at 4,000 feet, descending down to 3,000 feet. So let's switch on all our landing lights, switch our taxi light on so long as well.
KLM-28, you are 11 miles northeast of Paderborn. Contact Powderboard Tower on 133.38 when inbound on the approach. Tower on 133.38 KLM28. Powderboard Tower KLM28 11 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 24 approach.
I must say, of all the approaches I've done so far in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, this is definitely on my top 3 of my favorites so far. Yeah, it's just a very nice approach. The scenery is spectacular.
Approach KLM28.
So if you do have Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, whether it be on a PC or Xbox, and you haven't flown into this airport, you don't necessarily have to fly from Venice, but if you have not flown to this airport as yet, do yourself a favor and fly this approach. It's really nice. Okay, we lined up with the airport. Our magentas are where they should be. Our approach mode is activated. And we'll fly down with autopilot all the way down to the runway. A couple hundred feet above the ground, we'll switch off our auto throttles and take the plane down to the ground.
KLM28 with 267 at 10. Clear to land runway 24.
And we are clear to land.
KLM28.
Okay, set our flaps to final for our approach.
1000.
Switch off our auto throttle, line up at the center of the runway.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Well, that was a bit harsh, never mind. Just a bit of a bounce. And it's our landing, folks, not too bad. A little bit hard, but not bad. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Paderborn, Lippstadt. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you do want to see more of my content, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all those things. We're just going to taxi out here to the gates now, and then you'll just also see, you know, the custom jetways and airport and the life at the airport I was talking to you about earlier.
Contact ground on 121.903.
And also down in the comments, let me know what type of videos you would like to see, or you know, what flights you would like me to, or routes you would like me to do, and I can certainly try and fit that in. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's pull into the gate here. I do find it's a bit easier to line up with the gate with the outside view. It's a bit difficult doing it from the inside. That should be okay. Now let's go ahead and connect to your jetway and get the passengers off the plane.
Paderborn ground KLM-28, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
KLM-28, the jetway is going to be connected.
So as you guys can see, the jetway looks different to most of the other airports, and that's because for this specific airport, the airport's been made to look like the real life airport. Not that I would know what the real life airport looks like, so I've never been to Paderborn. But I can imagine that it's everything is the way it should be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, share and subscribe for more content. I do all sorts of content, not necessarily just Flight Simulator, on both PS5 and the Series X. So like, subscribe and share for more. This is GameTechy. Have a good day.